which we were told was healthy. And they knew back in the 1970s that that was not the case.
Fluoridation of the drinking water supply is done to get rid of the toxic waste, hexafluorosilicic acid, from the smokestack scrubbers of aluminum and fertilizer factories. This practice has caused cancer and brain damage for almost 50 years. The aluminum and fertilizer industries would have to pay a fortune to dispose of the hexafluorosilicic acid if it were not for the municipal water fluoridation. Research done by Harvard University showed that municipal water fluoridation damages the brains of children, causing them to have lower IQs, sometimes by as much as 10 points. CDC, OSHA, and other government agencies classify fluoride as a very dangerous toxic substance. Fluoride is a carcinogen, and the fluoride from aluminum and fertilizer plants also has mercury and other dangerous toxins in it. Dr. Dean Burke of the National Cancer Institute said, "Fluoridation is a form of public mass murder." And he also said, "In point of fact, fluoride causes more human cancer death and causes it faster than any other chemical."
So the honest answer is that the ADA is probably the biggest political machine in the U.S., spends the most money on lobbying, is able to hoodwink most of the organizations and the health organizations in the U.S., including the CDC, the FDA, and the EPA, into allowing water fluoridation. And the aluminum industry basically hasn't had to do anything because the ADA has stepped in and kind of carried it as its baby, as its football.
The thing is, in chemistry, when you have waste, you know, it's easy just to pour things down your sink. That doesn't cost anything, but you have to pay a lot more money to dispose of it as a hazardous chemical. So, you know, a lot of people try to take shortcuts by just dumping their waste right into the water supply. And so that's basically what they're getting away with as far as putting that into the water. And then it's even better if then they can convince municipalities that, hey, this is a good thing, you need fluoride in your water.
So fluoride specifically competes with iodine on the physiologic level. So iodine is necessary for the production of thyroid hormone, and this is why theoretically it can be an endocrine disruptor.
So fluoride in the water is another prime example, like high fructose corn syrup, right? How the establishment has purposefully hijacked people's health and well-being. Right? Fluoride has been proven scientifically for a long time to be a neurotoxin. Right? It's a freaking neurotoxin.
Well, here are 5 of the studies in the Choi review. This is their table, or part of it. And these were all statistically significant. You can see all the drops of IQ there. And those are the levels of fluoride in the high fluoride village. Once you've got these studies showing lowering of IQ at these concentrations, there is no margin of safety to protect all our kids from having their mental development impaired by drinking fluoridated water. And that's particularly true of bottle-fed infants at the very beginning when their brains are developing. But basically IQ follows a normal distribution curve, the bell-shaped curve. The bell, the heart of the bell is the average. Most people have an average if you're looking at height, weight. But look at the 2 tails of this bell-shaped curve. And the green, the area under the curve, that's the number of kids above an IQ of about 130. Those kids are very bright or geniuses. Now at this end of the curve, the magenta is that area under the curve is the fraction of the population which is mentally handicapped. Now, if you were to shift downwards by 5 IQ points, the average would drop from 100 to 95. But look what this shift does to the 2 tails. It halves the number of geniuses in your society, and it doubles the number of mentally handicapped. And I don't think I need to say much to convince you that this would have huge social ramifications and economic ramifications.
And I think as we know that fluoride incorporates into the body, and we're only excreting about half of it, it can certainly go to other organs in the body besides the kidney, because it's going to get circulated in the blood.
Fluoride is a neurotoxin with damaging effects to our brain when it is ingested. It is incredibly crucial that we differentiate between topical fluoride and systemic fluoride, which would be ingesting it in the form of our water. So when we look at the case of babies, for instance, and formula, it is recommended that you do not use fluoridated water in baby formulas. Now, what are the chances that every single person, every parent on the planet knows that they need to have a fluoride filter for their water that they use to make formula for their babies?
It makes people more dependent, it makes people weaker. There's actually plenty of studies that have shown, because it's a neurotoxin, it lowers people's will, it lowers people's, like questioning, it lowers people's like thinking and